Hey, you guys, and welcome to another fragmented video. For those of you who don't know what a fragmented video is, it's basically where I just read the first page or so, a couple of pages, or like just the first chapter, depending on how the book is, and that's just it. I'll link all my previous fragmented videos down below. For fragmented, it used to be like a Fragment Friday kind of thing, and I just call it fragmented just because I usually just do it whenever and not on a Friday, and usually I just read the first chapter anyway. Some people, you know, like they just do like an excerpt from any point in the book, but I'm more of a first chapter type person myself. So today I will be reading an excerpt from the Enchanted by Rene Denfeld, and this is I'm going to be reading the 2.5 pages because this one doesn't really have chapters, and I think where I stopped at on that paragraph, and then there's like a break there, and then after it starts a whole new line of thought and stuff, so I thought that was a good place to probably end it. So let's go ahead and get started. I just have to say that I love this book, 5 out of 5 stars, and that's why I want to share. So let's begin. This is an enchanted place. Others don't see it, but I do. I see every cinder block, every hallway and doorway. I see the doorways that lead to the secret stairs, and the stairs that take you into stone towers, and the towers that take you to windows, and the windows that open to wide, clear air. I see the chamber where the cloudy medical vines snake across the floor, empty and waiting for the warden's finger to press the red buttons. I see the secret basement warrens where rusted cans hide the urns of the dead, and the urns spill their ashes across the floor until the floods come off the river to wash the ashes outside to feed the soil under the grasses, which wave to the sky. I see the soft turf night birds as they drop from the heavens. I see the golden horses as they run deep under the earth, heat flowing like molten metal from their backs. I see where the small men hide with their tiny hammers, and how the flibber gibbets dance while the oven slowly ticks. The most wonderful enchanted things happen here. The most enchanted things you can imagine. I want to tell you why I still have time before they close the black curtain and I take my final bow. I hear them, the falling priest and the lady. Their footsteps sound like the soft hush of rain over the stone floors. They have been talking low and soft, their voices sliding like a river current that stops outside my cell. When I hear them talk, I think of rain and water and crystal clear rivers, and when I hear them pause, it is like the cascade of water over falls. They are so aware of each other, they don't need to speak in complete sentences. Heading now? He asks. Room, she says. Hard. Aren't they all? Again, I hear the rain in her voice. The lady hasn't lost it yet. The sound of freedom. When she laughs, you can hear the wind in the trees and the splash of water hitting pavement. You can sense the gentle caress of rain on your face and how laughter sounds in the open air. All the things those of us in this dungeon can never feel. The fallen priest can hear those things in her voice too. That's what makes him afraid of her. Where can that freedom lead? Nowhere good, his pounding heart says. Which one? He asks. The lady is one of the few who call us by our names. She says her new client's name. It drops like a gem from her mouth. She has no idea how precious it sounds. York, the man in the cell next to mine. The other men on the row say his mother named him for a slave who traveled with Lewis and Clark, or after his royal English father from some fabled city overseas. Only in prison can you get away with a lie that big. York knows the truth doesn't matter in here. Inside, the lies you tell become the person you become. On the outside, sun and reality shrink people back into their actual size, and here, people grow into their shadows. I press my face against the crumbling wall. The soft rocks absorb their voices, but I have learned how to listen. I pick their words off the moss and stone. He is warning her that this case, above all others, will be tough. Ready and prepared, I hear him say. Soon, the lady asks. I can hear the pleading in her voice. How can he not hear it? But he doesn't. He is too busy being scared of her. The fallen priest doesn't hear the whipping in his own voice when he talks to the lady. He doesn't hear the longing and desire. He doesn't feel the wonderful wildness of the world. Though he lives inside this enchanted place, he doesn't see the enchantment in the lady. He doesn't see the enchantment in here or anywhere. For me, being taken to this dungeon was like landing in sanctuary. For the priest, it was worse than exile. He came here not long ago, with his face dejected and the fluorescent lights shining on his thinning hair, the wrinkles drying around his eyes. This place freezes you. Then one day they thaw you out and take you to the back of cell block H, and you are dead. Catch you later, he says. I drop my head from the wall. The lady walks past my cell. I slide along the cell wall towards the bars, careful not to let her see me. If she turns, I will jump on my cot and hide under the blanket. Instead, she keeps walking. I creep closer to the bars to watch her walk. I catch a triangle of shirt at the bottom of her narrow back, the back of her heel. I've become practiced at this game, so sometimes I catch more. A tendril of shining black hair, a glimpse of a seashell ear. I listen carefully as her footsteps recede down the row, savoring each tiny, muffled clop, saving it for later. The fallen priest is also there, on the other side of my cell, watching her go. Slowly he turns and walks the other way. His footsteps sound leaden. An inmate calls to him. That would be Stryker, on my other side. And the priest moves reluctantly to the cell bars, ready words of comfort on his lips. He has sweat under his Oxford shirt from talking to the lady. Sweat rolls down his calf and falls from his bare ankles under his loafers to the porous stone. It seeps down below to the underground caverns where the golden horses run, but no one sees. So, with that, I end there before I kept going because I just love it and I think it just flows poetically and stuff. So this story takes place in a prison cell, and more specifically on death row in prison. So we never know who's talking, but he has like a world's eye view of this prison that they're in, and it mainly follows this lady whose job is to get men off of death row, and she's of course working to get York off of death row. And then we have the priest, who is kind of like really just kind of like in that in between of like not knowing what's really happening in his life right now. Like he's having a crisis of faith, I guess, in some parts, and it's just really sad and kind of heartbreaking because it's in prison. Like it's depressing sometimes and wonderful other times, like and written in this like melody that I just love. So you guys let me know down below if you guys plan to pick up this book. Yes, no, maybe so. Do you guys already have it? Maybe. Let me know down below and I will talk to you guys later. And if you read the book, of course, let me know what you thought too. And I'm gonna see you later. Bye.